for it all.
Are you threatening me?
I'm an engineer.
Frollo's dead.
Yes.
Second, I am Secretary of State. And third, I am a Jew.
I wish you well.
Beautiful, isn't she? You want to hold her?
Every year, exciting movies come out to enthrall the audience. And 2023 is also not different from that. From low-budget films with substance, to big blockbusters, we're out in this year for the audience.
What about you, Mr. Big? I'm going to kill you.
Here we try to index the top 10 movies list from an ordinary viewer's perspective. We all like different types, or genres of movies, which extract all sort of emotions from us as audience. But here we focus on realistic plots than the superhumans and animations.
What it means is, no one is coming to rescue us.
The list starts from number 10 movie and ends with number 1. Besides, we give a reference to the other honorable mentions also. Number 10. Saltburn. Set in England in the early 2000s, the film follows an Oxford University student who becomes obsessed with a wealthy fellow student within his college, who invites him to spend the summer at his eccentric family's estate.
You alright?
Yeah, I've got a flat tire.
Oh, yeah.
This is an immensely twisted tale of obsession, and sort of perversion which eventually goes into much darker territory. We got a very talented cast here. Barry Keoghan is in the leading role, well supported by the enchanting Jacob Elordi, Archie Madekwe, Rosamund Pike, Richard E. Grant, Alison Oliver, and Carey Mulligan.
Awful things. Of course we weren't. Hello, Oliver, darling. Oh, what beautiful eyes.
This film got a good plot and nice momentum. Emerald Fennell has done a good job as the writer and director of this film. But this is not good as her previous film Promising Young Woman, which was really impressive.
You talk about biting the hand. And Mom and Dad would give him anything he asked for.
Yeah, well.
Number 9. Barbie. This is a fantasy comedy film based on the world's most famous doll Barbie. The plot is like this: the lead Barbie, Ken, and fellow dolls reside happily in the wonderful Barbie land, a matriarchal society. But one fine day, Barbie suffers humanly crisis that leads her to question her world and her existence. She decides to go to the real world to find out the solution. Ken tags along with her as her support. As the title suggests, this film is not meant for kids but for the entire family entertainment. It is funny, bit drama, cool, and entertaining movie, but became preachy at some times can put some of the viewers off. But overall, Barbie is a fun movie that has surprisingly plenty of nice moments. Margot Robbie as Barbie is impressive. Margot and Ryan Gosling as Barbie and Ken generates good chemistry. All the other co-stars also done their jobs very well. Especially Will Ferrell. You put him in any situation, he will entertain you from top to bottom.
Get in now! Come on!
The visual environment and costumes in this film are pleasant and eye-catchy. The music is also good. Greta Gerwig has done an impressive job as the director and writing partner of Noah Baumbach.
I have to think about that.
Oh. Please?
Okay.
Number 8, Scrapper. Scrapper is a British comedy drama. The plot is like this: Georgie, a 12-year-old girl, has been living alone since her mother Vicky died, stealing bikes to pay for food and pretending to social services that she's living with her uncle. Only her best and only friend, Ollie, knows the truth. Georgie comforts herself by watching a video of her mom she recorded. But things turns upside down when her estranged father, Jason, arrives unexpectedly. The story is simple and lacks depth, but it generates a lot of emotions. There is not much characters in this movie, but the lead actors are enough to engage the viewers. Lola Campbell as Georgie is charismatic and mischievous at the same time. Harris Dickinson also delivering an enjoyable performance as her dad. Ali Nuzun as Georgie's friend is also decent. It is very nice to watch the shaky but steady progress of dad-daughter relationship.
What if he's a big-time gangster?
This is Charlotte Regan's debut feature film as director, which is impressive. Throughout, The setting, camera work and soundtrack is pleasant and professional. Certain elements of this film bring back the feel of the movie The Florida Project.
Club doors are open. Club doors shut. Someone's gone out for a fag.
Number 7, May December. May December is an American drama film. This is loosely inspired by the 1992 Mary Kay scandal. The plot is like this: Elizabeth, an actress who travels to Savannah to study the life of the controversial woman she is set to play in a film. In 1992, at the age of 36, this woman was arrested having sex with 13-year-old Joyu, a schoolmate of her son Georgie, at the pet store where both worked. During a prison sentence, Gracie gave birth to Joe's child. 23 years later, Gracie and Joe are married with 3 children. This film is primarily a depiction of 2 complicated characters as a couple, and an observer who intrigued in their life. The movie starts with showing the seemingly happy family of Gracie, and her attractive husband Joe. It is through Elizabeth's prying eyes that we gradually come to know more about the couple and their family as the story progresses.
Yes.
Have you acted in sex scenes?
You are staying late. Yes, I have.
Todd Haynes done a wonderful job as the director. The way things were progressing, and eventually unraveling the true feelings of the characters, were masterly done by him. Natalie Portman as Elizabeth, who constantly prying on others' lives, and Julianne Moore as complicated and bit weird Gracie, were superb. Also Charles Melton done the job well as Joe, who seems a kid trapped in an adult's body.
I'm naive. I am naive. I always have been. In a way, it's been a gift.
Number 6, Tetris. Tetris is an American biographical thriller film. This film is ridiculously entertaining. This is based on true events, but some fictional part is also there. This is a cat-and-mouse game between a desperate American video game marketing man and Soviet Union authority during the Cold War for the rights to what would become one of the most famous games of all time, Tetris.
Paying you to sell my game, not play other people.
Relax, Hank. This game is swell. What's it called?
Tetris.
Tetris.
John S. Baird has done an outstanding job as the director. The film is so engaging that you won't like to move away from the screen. The period was the horrible Iron Curtain days of Russia and the last days of communism. The setting is exactly looking like the early 90s. Cinematography and background score are good.
We'll start by licensing computer games, then video games, arcade games, board games, everything.
Taron Egerton is in the lead role as Hank Rogers of Bulletproof Software. He is charming, charismatic and full of energy. This film got a lengthy cast, but the standout performances are from Igor Grabuzov as the KGB underboss, Sofia Lebedeva as the KGB agent, Roger Elam and Anthony Boyle as the father-son duo and owners of Mirrorsoft, and Toby Jones as Robert Stein of Andromeda Software. Matthew Marsh as Soviet President Gorbachev looks really convincing.
As you said, I am your friend. We are proposing a fair trade where no money is exchanged.
Number 5, Air. Air is an American biographical sports drama film. The film is based on true events about the origin of a basketball shoe line called Air Jordan. As we all know, Ben Affleck is a wonderful actor, but seems transforming as a talented director also.
Board wants me to fire everybody, and I can't guarantee without some improvement that's not going to happen at the next board meeting.
We need to increase spending.
Not that long back, brand Nike wasn't worth all that much, and not many athletes even wanted to be sponsored by them. Air tells the story of Sonny Vaccaro, a man who put the entire goodwill and fortune of the Nike brand at risk by trying to sign the rookie Michael Jordan. Although we have the idea of how the film will end, still it is captivating.
The second you have multiples, it diminishes the value.
Oh. I like it. We have a video, right?
Yeah.
These things go great with video.
Yeah, we got that.
The cast is lengthy, but performances of Matt Damon as Sonny, Ben Affleck as his boss, Jason Bateman and Chris Tucker as his colleagues stand out. Viola Davis as young Jordan's mom is amazing. She is a performer in any role. The cinematography and music is also pleasant.
We're sitting here talking about my parents instead of about you.
I've had a lot of practice, there's no doubt about that.
Number 4, The Holdovers. The Holdovers is an American Christmas comedy drama film. Set in 1970, the film follows a bad-tempered history teacher at a New England boarding school who is forced to supervise a handful of students with nowhere to go on Christmas break.
Begged you to give the kid a C-. There are instructors here who will do that. I am not one of them.
Director Alexander Payne done a wonderful job here. He definitely brings back memories of the 70s feel-good films. The film's momentum is bit slow but emotionally engaging. The learning of the characters who initially seem rash, pig-headed, or indisciplined, slowly develops sympathy and affection in our hearts.
What he's trying to say is he'd like to buy you guys a beer.
Paul Giamatti is excellent in the lead role as the teacher. His dialogue stay with us for some time. I find the world a bitter and complicated place. And it seems to feel the same way about me. Dominic Sessa is one of the indisciplined student, and Davina Joy Randolph as the main cook in the hostel, who is still mourning his son's death in Vietnam, also really impressive.
I'll go pack.
I'm gonna need you to take me to Roxbury.
Number 3, Killers of the Flower Moon. This is an American epic Western crime drama film, directed and produced by Martin Scorsese, co-wrote the script with Eric Roth, based on the 2017 non-fiction book by David Gran. One of the finest technicians Scorsese, and one of the finest writer Eric Roth, together done almost a fine job here. The plot is like this. When oil is discovered in 1920s Oklahoma under Osage Nation land, the Osage people are murdered one by one, until the FBI steps in to unravel the mystery. The film's content is depressing and brutal, which generates strong emotions, but the main problem is the duration, which is 3 hours and 26 minutes, and that is very much exhausting. This is the biggest let-off. The creators couldn't contain the content at least in 2.5 hours.
That's what they call blackbird talk.
Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro lead an ensemble cast which includes Lily Gladstone, Jesse Plemons, Tenta Cardinal, John Lithgow, and Brendan Fraser. All the actors together done an incredible job. Despite a 3.5-hour run, the story is well-paced and engaging. The story is so distressing in some parts, it stays with you for some time. Gladstone done an amazing job, which is above Leonardo and the legendary De Niro.
What's your religion?
Catholic?
You don't come to church.
Number 2, The Promised Land. The Promised Land is basically a Danish epic historical drama film directed by Nikolaj Arcel. The film is based on the book The Captain and Anne Barbara by Ida Jessen.
Måste ha många rojter.
The plot is like this. In 1755, Captain Colin, an impoverished Danish officer of humble birth, retires after 25 years of service from the German army, with a paltry pension to his native Denmark, and obtains a permission from the Royal Danish Court to build a property on the barren land for cultivation. Soon after arriving at the site, he comes into conflict with local magistrate Schinkel, who has been trying to monopolize the land.
Too late.
This film is very much engaging and the script got depth. Nikolaj Arcel done a wonderful job as director. Cinematography, art direction, costumes and makeup is so impressive it takes you back to 18th century. Besides, the story well depicts the sad state of feudal times, the atrocities of the ruling class, settlers fighting rich landowners, zero human rights for the poor, racial prejudices, and so on. Mads Mikkelsen is an exceptional actor and the perfect choice for the lead. His eyes, expressions, and mannerisms very well depicts his state of mind, and the situation he is in. Only phenomenal actors can do this type of stuff. Other impressive performances are from Amanda Cullen as the escaped servant turned Colin's partner, Simon Benneberg as the arrogant, disrespectful, despicable magistrate, and Melina Hagberg as the beggar girl turned Colin's adopted daughter. Before going to number 1, here are some honorable mentions. Past Lives. Past Lives is an American romantic drama film, written and directed by Celine Song, in her feature directorial debut. Starring Greta Lee, Teo Yu, and John Magaro, it follows two childhood friends over the course of 24 years, while they contemplate the nature of their relationship as they grow apart, living different lives. American Fiction. American Fiction is an American comedy drama film, written and directed by Core Jefferson, in his feature directorial debut. Based on the 2001 novel Erasure, by Percival Everett, the film follows a frustrated novelist professor, who jokingly writes an outlandishly stereotypical black book out of spite, only for the book to be published, and receive widespread fame and acclaim. Anatomy of a Fall. Anatomy of a Fall is a French courtroom drama thriller film, directed by Justine Triet from a screenplay she co-wrote with Arthur Harari. It stars Sandra Huller as a writer, trying to prove her innocence in her husband's death. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. This is an American spy action film, directed by Christopher McQuarrie. It is the sequel to Mission Impossible Fallout, and the 7th installment in the Mission Impossible franchise. It stars Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt, alongside an ensemble cast. In the film, Hunt and his IMF team face off against the Entity, a powerful, rogue, AI. Number 1. Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer is an American epic biographical film, written and directed by Christopher Nolan. It stars Cillian Murphy as J. Robert Oppenheimer, the American theoretical physicist, credited with being the father of the atomic bomb, for his role in the Manhattan Project, the World War II undertaking, that developed the first nuclear weapons.
Well, remember this day.
Based on the 2005 biography, American Prometheus by Kai Bird and Martin J. Sherwin, the film chronicles the career of Oppenheimer. The story predominantly focusing on his studies, his supervision of the Manhattan Project during World War II, and his eventual fall from grace due to his 1954 security hearing.
Why? Why? How about because this is the most important thing that ever happened in the history of the world?
The film also stars Emily Blunt as Oppenheimer's wife Kitty, Matt Damon as head of the Manhattan Project Leslie Groves, Robert Downey Jr. as United States Atomic Energy Commission member Lewis Strauss, and Florence Pugh as Oppenheimer's communist lover Gene Tadlock. The ensemble supporting cast includes Josh Hartnett, Casey Affleck, Rami Malek, Gary Oldman, and Kenneth Branagh.
You can't do in your head.
Are we saying there's a chance that when we push that button, we destroy the world?
The film runtime is 3 hours long, bit exhaustive. And the scenes go back and forth from flashbacks and the hearing which bit irritates. But overall, the story, the presentation, the quality of the cast, the acting, music and cinematography, everything hit the bullseye. Cillian Murphy nailed the role as Oppenheimer. His eyes and emotions raised the film into a psychological thriller. So this is Layman's Top 10 Movies list of 2023. This is our opinion. People think differently and have their own opinion for sure. So guys, kindly write your top 10 movies list of 2023 in the comments section. Wish you all the very best for year 2024.